Okay. Timarie Bashor, thank you for being on the Get Foxy show. I sure appreciate you taking the time.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
But right off the bat, let's get into your story. How did you become a body worker and a fitness pole instructor? That's not something most girls, I think, when they grow up say, "Yeah, that's something I want to do. That's what I want to be." So, how did you get into that kind of work?
Yes, no, that's a great question. My background is actually in sociology. I've always had a desire to work with people and help them feel better in their place of life, sort of to overcome whatever obstacles they're feeling. And back in 2011, I realized that social work, um, it was more about funding and paperwork and data and processes rather than actually working with people. So career change. I've always had a huge interest in health and fitness, not so much simply from like the image of it, but the mindset and how it affects the mind and how people feel within their own body. And so I guess that's the start of it, really. Um, Pole fitness, actually, I've been teaching that for several years, and that is a huge passion for me. It is it speaks to a variety of people and a variety of ages and body types, and that to me is really, really appealing because there's so many other avenues of fitness and sports that actually are very narrow in scope. I often say, basketball players, we all know what they looked like. The image is always very tall, and football players are very broad, and gymnasts are very dainty and flexible. And pole fitness actually debunks all of those myths. And you can be short and round, you can be tall and lengthy. It doesn't matter what your body type is. It it matters on how you interpret different things into your own expression on the pole. So I just
Mhm.
jumped right into that.
I appreciate that. That's really fascinating to me because I don't think that's something that a lot of people know about. And with the pole work too, there may be some stereotypes, negative stereotypes that go along with that. And I get the feeling that part of your work is actually dispelling those. Am I correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So, how do you go about doing that?
A lot of it is just trying to educate people. I will post various things on Facebook. I encourage people to come to try it. And like anything, you don't know something until you try. So I really try to offer a safe place for people to come and explore their own body through movement. And that is the biggest way I feel to debunk some of the myths out there about pole fitness and pole dancing movement.
Hmm. Well, this seems to be kind of a common theme. As I do more of these interviews, I keep finding more and more women are saying part of their idea of being foxy is being comfortable in your own body. And it sounds like the work that you do helps women really find that inner fox in themselves by learning more about their body and being comfortable with their body through this pole work.
Yes, it is huge. There's actually a pole competition organization out there called Dangerous Curves. It is for plus size pole dancers, and they actually had a competition in Denver last year, and I had the opportunity to attend it. And those women with their curves, with their cellulite, with their baggage, whatever you want to label their physical image, moved with such amazing confidence. It was so powerful. I almost got more out of it than a traditional pole competition, just because the energy that they had behind it. Um, there's there's a lot of growth that women have in pole, and again, it's not so much the image that they see, it's how they feel. And when you feel confident, that it transforms your life. That
Mm.
your perspective of how you approach other people, how you feel within your body, how you just your mindset in general can absolutely be transformed. I had a client in the past. At the time, I think she was 52, 55 years old, and I love sharing her story. I still get goosebumps. She was in the studio, and her big goal was to lose her belly, her kind of her menopause belly. She had been a belly dancer in her youth and didn't like the way her body had shifted as she aged. And her goal was to have a flat stomach. And after months of pole and dieting changes, she never lost the belly, but she gained an appreciation for her belly and for the power that her body could do in different movements. She had such power that was so much more meaningful than the image of her stomach when she looked down. And that to me is what I really want people to get out of pole class. While it's fun, you're exercising in a way that you don't even know. It's the confidence. It's all that mental piece on the underside of it that comes out that I really want people to have the opportunity to experience.
Mm. Yes, yes. That inner power. Uh, Last episode, I had interviewed Joanna Shakti. And for the listeners, if you didn't catch that interview, you want to go back and listen to it because powerful stuff. But one of the things she spoke about was cultivating this idea of the divine feminine. And with pole work, I can see how a woman doing this work can really start to feel into her femininity.
Hmm. Yeah, absolutely. There's actually been a lot of women who have suffered sexual abuse, whether that is to their physical body or just media expectations put on them, that they find so much healing in pole work because they get to move how they want to move, not for someone else, but for their own body. And there's such freedom in that in a safe place that they can really connect with that inner femininity, as you said. And that, again, is very powerful for people.
Oh, I would think so. I mean, the more a woman connects with that divine feminine essence, the more polarized and charismatic she can be. I mean, we talk, at least in traditional Chinese medicine, we talk a lot about energy, yin and yang. And the feminine aspect tends to be more yin in quality. And the stronger the yin energetic, the more power it has to attract the yang energetic. And so it sounds to me that through pole work, a woman can cultivate that strong yin, divine, feminine, foxy presence that can then attract more of that yang energetic into their scope, if that
Hmm.
makes sense. So they can attract their spouse, for example, or because they feel more confident, they can attract more business into their work, or because they feel more confident, they're able to have a stronger relationship with their children. Is this?
Hmm.
Do you agree
Yes.
with this?
Yes, I do very much so. And it's interesting because I have learned more recently through my own personal development that when I had started pole, I was like, oh, it's a new fun workout. But I learned firsthand some of the mental gains and that confidence piece for sure because for whatever reason, I grew up with a lack of confidence. Significantly, I always doubted my worth and my abilities. And through this practice, I have experienced firsthand of like, wow, I really am powerful. I really am, unique, and that confidence comes out in my own life. And so they say that I don't know the exact phrase, but we teach from our pain. And so because I have experienced that myself, I really want the opportunity for others to have that same experience and that igniting the flame within their own being.
What does Foxy mean to you, Timarie?
Foxy. The first thing is playful and sort of sassy, feisty, ornery, kind of bends the rules a little bit. Yes, that's my first definition. It doesn't necessarily have to be like this sensual tease sexual being,
Mm-hmm.
but a deep, playful feistiness, I think.
And who embodies Foxy in your world?
Who embodies it?
Yes.
I guess I don't know how to answer that one. I don't know.
Well, that's a,
Uh, that's a hard question.
and that's why I ask it.
Yeah, no, you're like, duh. It's a good question. Um, I guess I do. On a level, as I say that in question, there's definitely, I don't know if this answers it or not, but it's deep inside of ourselves and we need to have the space and the freedom to express it. And I know for me, if I am busy with the kiddos, busy in my job, that I feel more edgy and cranky and I need a place to reconnect with that inner Foxy, if you will. So I have to make time for me and I'll go down into my studio and just find some good music to strongly connect to and I feel alive again. So does that kind of sort of answer it?
Of course it does.
Okay, perfect.
So what I'm hearing is from you is that who embodies Foxy in your world right now? Just about everybody. Every person can have that foxiness. It's just a matter of tapping into it.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Tapping into it. Uh-huh. Finding the space to find it.
Mm-hmm.
Allowing this space, allowing the permission almost. From a mom's perspective, we often get wrapped up in caring for the needs of everyone else and we forget ourselves. And I often tell people, we can't pour from an empty cup. It is not selfish to take care of yourself. This is a lesson that I'm constantly working on of I have to take care of me so I can be a better spouse. I can be a better worker. I can be a better mother. Otherwise, I'm drained and depleted and then nobody gets filled.
Yes. Yes. And what are some of the ways that you have found that work for taking care of yourself?
hmm Um, Music is very powerful for me personally. I like music. Obviously, I like pole fitness. Working out, I enjoy the challenge of it. However, I don't get the same foxy expression uh, as I do with lifting weights, or excuse me, as I do with pole from lifting weights. I think I said that correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I enjoy artistic expression, whether it is looking at sculptures or doing pottery on my own. It's creating something ultimately.
Hmm. What do you do besides the let me rephrase that. Beside the pole fitness work,
Uh-huh.
you're also a body worker.
Yes, sir.
What do you do with that kind of body work? Because there are several different kinds out there. And from my understanding, the work that you do is somewhat unique. Can you delve into that a little bit more?
Yes, absolutely. So, I practice a modality that stems from applied kinesiology, which works on muscle testing. So, in essence, it is bringing the muscular system back into balance. So, that basically is reducing people's pain that they have in their body, increasing range of motion and flexibility. I use a table much like a massage therapist. However, it is not as relaxing as a massage. It's more closely related to like uh, physical therapy,
Hmm.
I think. And for me, I love it. There's a lot of checks and balances and science behind it that people come in sometimes as a last resort, like, I just don't know what's wrong with me. And again, I see that a lack of hope in people, and I love being able to restore their physical body to alleviate some of that pain so they can sleep better, so they can go hiking, so they can go running. So basically, they can live a more active life to whatever that desire looks like for them. Restoring hope for people is huge for me. Um, Helping them connect and to find ways to feel better. Obviously, the pull side, to feel more confidence in your own skin, and from my muscle work to feel better physically so you can go out and pursue things of interest. So I work on both the inside and the outside of people.
Very nice. And it sounds like the two tend to marry together fairly well because I think the pole fitness work uh, likely may may generate a little bit of pain in the beginning stages.
Yes, yes, most definitely. Like any sport, they're prone for different injuries, and pole fitness is more prone for shoulder injuries, especially amongst women because our structure is built differently and there's a lot of upper body work in it. So yes, if people, are struggling with their gains within the pole community, then I'm there to support them, to help balance their body so they can overcome some of those obstacles, or simply to prevent injuries from happening, to make sure all the muscles are working together as one unit rather than a couple lone wolves out there trying to compensate.
Hmm. Now, how did you end up kind of marrying the two? Did you find pole fitness first, or did you find the body work first? And how did you kind of figure out how to integrate them?
Yeah, they were, for the most part, happened at the same time. I done the body work first, and my pole fitness was my own sort of hobby on the side. I had that faint dream to teach it someday, but for years I didn't connect the two simply because of the stigma attached to pole fitness, unfortunately. And while I didn't struggle with it, I didn't want to connect pole business to my muscle therapy business and worry about how that would be portrayed. And actually, it was about a year ago, and I finally said, screw it. I don't care about stigmas. The two can go together, they support each other. It's the same overall agenda, and to support people. And so I actually fairly recently, yeah, within the last year, combined the two of them.
And how has that worked out for you?
Pretty well, actually. Yeah, I it's unfortunate that I waited as long as I did, really. But at the same time, looking back, it's, that hindsight sort of thing. But in the same breath, I wasn't ready yet, and perhaps that was my own confidence journey I needed to have in order to be ready at this point in time in my life to put the two together.
What's the one piece of advice that you could give the listeners to this show about how to stay foxy or to help cultivate that foxiness within themselves?
Hmm. Schedule time, honestly, for yourself. We get so busy, like I said, in our lives for other people and other things, that sometimes you just have to put in your calendar, this is my time, and to explore different things, because you never know what you might find that feeds you, that just makes you come alive inside, whether that is pole fitness or bowling for that matter. I don't care. Just schedule time for yourself, create opportunity to try new things, whether it's with a friend or by yourself, so you can connect better to who you are deep inside.
Nice. How do people get a hold of you if they'd like more information on either taking classes from you or receiving work from you?
Yeah, no, thank you. So I have a business page on Facebook, which is Muscle Resolution. I also have a website at muscleresolution.com that people can reach out to me there as well. So I would love people to contact me. I'm readily available to answer any questions and to help people feel more comfortable. That is one thing I want to add real quick to Terry is
Yes, please.
when it comes to pull, there's so many myths. Um, I think I addressed the body size piece, but also the amount of clothing that people who participate in pole fitness do not wear. And a lot of times people are very insecure in their bodies and they don't want to show as much skin as I show. And that's okay. There's ways to work around that. There's movements that can occur to build up to that confidence to show a little bit more. And so I have a home-based practice or a studio, excuse me, where I have just two poles. I cap it at 4 people, so it's a very close, intimate space for people to feel comfortable. I've had several ladies come into me who don't own a pair of shorts and you really need the back of your knees to grip the pole with your skin. And so I'm like, wear leggings, just roll them up a little bit. And I love being able to offer that safe place for people who otherwise might not be as comfortable in the larger studio spaces. So again, to answer your question is Facebook Muscle Resolution and my website muscleresolution.com.
Fantastic. So you're offering a space with no judgment,
Absolutely. Yes.
and that makes it extremely safe. Now,
Yeah.
I'm assuming that other pole fitness instructors around the nation, because this is a podcast where I get a lot of listeners from outside of Colorado. You and I are right kind of in the northern Colorado area, but
hmm
are other pole fitness um, instructors similar in their teaching regarding that?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, absolutely.
Good. And if, say, a listener from outside the Colorado area was looking for a pole fitness instructor, would you be able to help her out with that?
I will try my best.
Okay.
I won't promise, but yes, I know several people out there and there's different avenues to look at that. Yes, by all means, I would try to connect them with the right people. In August, I'm actually going to start doing a Zoom pole class for people who are not in the area that are interested in doing it from their own home, but still want a little bit of coaching rather than just a YouTube video.
Wow. I hadn't even considered that as a possibility, Timarie. That's fantastic.
Yeah. The idea was given to me. I did not come up with
Uh,
that one on my own. I can't take true credit for that. But yes,
Wow.
I'm thrilled to be able to offer that to people.
Excellent. Well, there you go, ladies. You've heard it first. Definitely check out Timarie and get more information from her, and perhaps she may be able to just teach you in your own home through your computer.
The power of technology.
Amazing, isn't it? Oh, that is just about all the time that we've got today. But Timarie, thank you so much again for taking the time. I've absolutely loved having conversations with you. You are so well. I just every time I speak to you, I can feel how much you care about people. I can feel your heart. I mean, even now, just coming through the screen, I can feel your heart. You just are an amazing person.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And thank you for having me on the show as well.
You betcha.